Hello and welcome to another episode of Erongo Talk. I'm your host, Iréne-Mari van der Walt, and in today's episode we are joining you from the Esplanade Park in Walvis Bay. In today's episode we will also be chatting with Mr. Vincent Hockey, the principal of Karibib Private High School, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on the education system, and he's going to discuss the way forward. But don't be too distracted by Mr. Hockey, because there will be a pop-up question popping up on your screen, and you can answer that question, and then you will be in the running to win an accommodation voucher to the value of $1,000 redeemable at the Namibia Tourism Expo. So for that and so much more, stay tuned. And now for your news. The Swakopmund municipality announced the introduction of a new toll-free number for fire and other emergencies. So the number is 064 0800 410 410. That's 064 0800 410 410. This is for fire and other emergencies. Town Council obtained the toll-free number from Telecom Namibia, otherwise known as TN Mobile, for use by the emergency units, including the traffic and the fire brigade. Speaking at the launch, Swakopmund Mayor Nehemiah Solomon emphasized that the number should only be used for fire and traffic-related emergency incidents. Our appeal to the public is not to misuse or abuse the number, as this can lead to accidents or even death should a real emergency arise at the same time, he said. The mayor warned that calls to the number are recorded and people making themselves guilty of abuse will be prosecuted. The number can be accessed free of charge by the community for any emergency situation and for immediate response. It can be dialed from any telephone, mobile or landline number. The number is also linked to the landline and standby cell phone numbers of the respective divisions, Solomon said. The benefits of a toll-free emergency number include no charges for the dialing party. It is easy to remember and takes up less time to use and improve safe service delivery. The number will be displayed on boards in various suburbs of Swakopmund. Solomon urged residents to make maximum use of the number. Let us continue to work together to save lives, he concluded. And then, in a second story for today, the police are warning of car scammers. The Namibian police has again warned members of the public about a syndicate seen on social media advertising second-hand vehicles for between 15,000 Namibian dollars and 20,000 Namibian dollars, and it is aimed at defrauding the public. In a media release, Deputy Commissioner Kauna Shikwambi said that at least 2 individuals had been observed advertising vehicles for very low prices on Facebook. Information has it that if and when an interested customer calls on the provided numbers, they pretend to be out of town so as to make the viewing of the car impossible. At that juncture, they will convince the prospective buyer to make a deposit as a guarantee to reserve the car for them. Shikwamba said that the Facebook usernames are fake and that they tend to use different cell phone numbers, which will always disconnect when they become aware that their actions are being scrutinized. These criminals also demand immediate payment to be done via e-wallet, easy wallet or blue wallet rather than into bank accounts. Further information revealed that the listed vehicles for sale does not belong to the scammers and the rightful owners are not aware of their vehicles being advertised or listed for sale, nor do they know the scammers, she said. Shikwambi added that these are some of the tactics used to convince desperate buyers by extorting, stealing under false pretense, and robbing would-be buyers of their hard-earned money. So please be vigilant. Do not send money to a person that you do not know. If you are not in a town, please send somebody that you know, a trusted family member or a trusted friend, to look at the object you are looking to buy. Please hold on to your money. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And on that note, we conclude our news for today.
We are visiting Karibib Private School, and we are talking to the principal, Mr. Vincent Hockey. Good morning, Mr. Hockey. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Daniels. I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, sir. We know COVID-19 disrupted the schooling program for 2020. How are things after learners returned to classes?
Yeah, I would like to say that things are slowly returning to normal, but I think That will not be possible in the near future, but we are doing the best that we can. Learners are busy. It's now only the little ones from pre-primary up to grade 3 that we are still waiting on to return.
Yes. And what are the difficulties you are facing?
Yeah, if we have to talk about difficulties, I think we need to start the financial implication.
Yes.
It had a huge impact on the school. We have a lot of Angolan learners, for instance, that could not return due to the state of emergency and the lockdown and everything.
Yes.
So that means there's money lost.
Yes.
Roughly 39 learners from Angola. So if you put that into monetary value, it's a lot of money. And then still other parents, because learners were not physically in class,
Yes.
they had that attitude, but why should we pay if our learners are not there?
Yes.
So we are struggling with that.
And the schooling process actually continued.
Yes, we never stopped. From the first lockdown, we were busy with the online learning, sending out, even preparing the workbooks and stuff for the local learners. So schooling never stopped.
How has the online learning been accommodated by the learners at your school?
Yeah, it was at the beginning it was a challenge, because I think this was something new to all of us, and not just here at Karibib Private School, but
Yes.
throughout the country.
Yes.
And learners, until now, I don't think they really know the importance of this, because work have been distributed.
Yes.
And with their return, we found out that most of these learners did not even open what was sent through to them.
Sure. How are you going to make up for time lost?
Yeah, government have most rationalized the syllabi up to 70%.
Yes.
Time from now, if nothing happened and there's no close downs again, time is enough for your junior grades, for your lower grades, say up to grade 8,
Yes.
to get through the syllabus for this year, to cover that 70%.
Uh-huh.
But the problem will come in next year,
Yes.
because there's a lot of catch up that need to be done.
So, am I correct in saying that some exams won't be written, but learners will have to be
Promoted.
promoted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only grades that will write the exam is the external exams for grade 11 and grade 12, and then grade 9. They will write an internal exam. For all the other grades, they will be assessed on continuous assessment work.
Now, how will that impact space availability at the school?
For next year.
Yes.
Yeah, that's now something that we did not think of, but I don't think that will pose a problem for us here.
Okay. Will your learners have a matric ball this year?
Unfortunately not, but this is not just because of COVID.
Yes.
That was a decision that they took last year already, that instead of the matric farewell,
Yes.
they opted for a tour to South Africa, educational tour as well.
Yes.
And with the impact of COVID, that could not happen. So we plan to have just a prom night, informal prom night, that will follow the valedictory service.
Okay. And then how do you feel about the lifting of the lockdown, state of emergency?
Yeah, on the one hand, I'm very, very happy about that, because now my Angolans can return. On the other hand, with that, there's still a lot of problems or challenges.
Yes. Yes. So what measures are the school introducing to soften the financial implications and impact or the losses brought by COVID?
Okay, I can say at this stage that fortunately we did not have to take pay cuts.
Yes.
So we thank God for that. But we have to look at other means of lessen the expenses. Like, for instance, the installation of prepaid water meters, electricity meters, and then giving our teachers a subsidy, and all other expenses are then for their own.
Yes. And then finally, any major businesses that have played a very big or positive role in the existence of the school this year?
Yes, I must thank our mine, Navagap, QKR Navagap Gold Mine.
Yes.
They were instrumental in keeping the school afloat.
Yes.
By paying the school fees of the employees' children. They also generously donated with regard to COVID, with masks, all the sanitation stuff and things like that.
Wow.
We should also say thank you to the Ministry of Education because they also played a part there.
Mm-hmm. And then your message in general to the learners, to all the matriculants out there?
Yeah, we should just keep our heads high and focus. Time is very limited because the exam starts in November, on the 9th of November. So we should just focus on what is at hand and if we believe, with the help of God, we will get through this.
And now for your weather and tides. The coastal towns saw high tide at about 3:15 this morning and low tide at about 9 o'clock this morning. Then high tide expected a second time at about 3:25 this afternoon and low tide expected at about 9:25 tonight. Walvis Bay saw sunrise at 6:42 and sunset expected at 7:01 tonight. Maximum of 17 degrees Celsius with a west-northwesterly wind prevailing, and for tomorrow a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 16 degrees Celsius. Swakopmund saw sunrise at 6:42 this morning and expect sunset at 7:01 tonight. A maximum of 16 degrees Celsius with a south-southwesterly wind prevailing, and for tomorrow a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 16 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay saw sunrise at 6:43 this morning and expect sunset at 7:02 tonight. A maximum of 16 degrees Celsius with a southerly wind prevailing, and for tomorrow also a maximum of 16 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius in the Henties Bay. Aranda saw sunrise at 20:27 this morning and expect sunset at 1:27 tonight. Maximum of 20 degrees Celsius with a westerly wind prevailing, and tomorrow a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 6 degrees Celsius. Usako saw sunrise at 6:38 this morning and expect sunset at 3:27 tonight. Maximum of 26 degrees Celsius with a southwesterly wind prevailing. For tomorrow a minimum of 4 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. Karibib saw sunrise at 6:37 this morning and expect sunset at 5:27 tonight. A maximum of 26 degrees Celsius with a southwesterly wind prevailing, and a minimum of 4 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius for tomorrow. Lastly, Omaruru saw sunrise at 6:37 this morning and expect sunset at 5:27 tonight. A maximum of 29 degrees Celsius with a south-southwesterly wind prevailing, and a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius for tomorrow. And that concludes your weather and tides. And that concludes today's episode of Erongo Talk. It was lovely having you with us. We hope you caught our pop-up question. And you can also go through the stories that we discussed earlier and so much more at www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na. You can also get in touch with us for advertisement opportunities or to let us know what's happening in your community at 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. So until next time, please stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, sanitize your hands, wear your gloves, maintain social distancing, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.